Well, what an odd and unexpected race for Texas. You know, Texas, ever since the repave, has been extremely, not predictable, but it's been pretty boring, and we get winners that usually win a lot. Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, those guys usually win. And we got another one of those today. The end result ended up being the same, but the end of this race ended up being, like, extremely chaotic. We had playoff guys spinning and wrecking. We had playoff guys crashing. I guess that's wrecking, but I'm not confused. I'm just baffled. I didn't expect this to happen. And yeah, it was just a weird race for Texas. I mean, we had an engine expire and Joey Logano, a playoff driver, and these days we don't usually see engines just blow up anymore. It's rare, and it happened today with a playoff driver. Joey Logano just blew up going down the backstretch, and then Martin Truex Jr., he just kind of thought he was clear of Suarez, went down, hit Suarez, and hit the wall, eliminated himself. Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney made contact, and, well, Denny Hamlin cut a tire and then spun out, and then later got in another wreck, and I feel like I'm missing something here. Kevin Harvick's still talking about Chase Elliott. I don't know why, but he is. Good for him. I don't know where to go with this thing. I mean, it was just such a weird race. But let's get into it. Stage 1. Pretty fun, entertaining stage 1, and it didn't need a bunch of wrecks to make it fun. There was fuel strategy involved. There was actually some passing going on. It was a pretty exciting stage 1. Guys like Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney were trying to save fuel to the end of stage 1 to get stage points, whereas Larson, Chase Elliott, others, they all pitted to try to get fuel in the car so they can make it to the end of stage 1 for sure. Stage 1 ends, and Kyle Busch was able to hold on, save enough fuel to win stage 1. And then from stage 2 to about 50 to go, when a caution came out for a spin by Chase Briscoe, it was pretty boring, to be honest with you. Larson just ran away. He led a lot, and nothing else really happened. It was kind of boring racing. Not much was happening. But then it got crazy, absolutely crazy. Chase Briscoe made a move to the outside of Denny Hamlin, ran himself, and maybe Denny Hamlin ran him up a little bit. I got to double-check the replay on that before I make a bold statement. But Chase Briscoe hits the wall, cuts a right rear tire, spins out, caution comes out. We get a restart. I can't remember what happened on restart number 1, but here are some of the events that happened. I think the first one was the Denny Hamlin contact. No. The first one, there was a red flag. So Chris Buescher gets turned. Well, he kind of blocked a little bit too aggressively on Kyle Busch and was drifting through turns 1 and 2 on the apron. So on the flat part of the track, he is drifting, and he saves it. And, of course, everyone sees him spinning, assumes he's going to come back up the track, and so they start doing all their wreck avoidance stuff. And in the process, Anthony Alfredo gets dumped by Chase Briscoe. Alfredo hits the wall, and his car catches on fire, and gas is leaking, so like it blocks the whole racetrack, and they got to throw a red flag for this thing. It got really chaotic really fast. They got to red flag it. They get back green. Denny Hamlin gets hit by Ryan Blaney in a 3-wide racing position. Hamlin cuts a tire a few laps later, which was really weird. Not that was weird, but the TV was showing Denny Hamlin for like 6 straight laps, waiting for the tire to go down. And then like 2 seconds after they cut away from Hamlin, he cuts the tire and spins. And then Martin Truex Jr. thought he was clear of Daniel Suarez, ended up crashing Denny Hamlin in a different wreck. Later on, there was a wreck on the backstretch. Chris Buescher spun in front of Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin just had nowhere to go, hit him. So Hamlin got even worse damage on the car. Chase Elliott had a tire going down at some point in this race. How could I forget? There was a freaking big wreck. The big one happened on like lap 20 of this race with like 10 or more cars. Alex Bowman was involved. Bubba Wallace was involved. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Preece, and a bunch of other guys. So there was like a 10-car wreck in the first stage. And so like, that was crazy. This race was so crazy and weird. I don't know where to go with it. So, I mean, genuinely. The best guys all day were Byron and Larson, by far. Like, they led probably 95% of this race. I think Larson led like 250. Byron probably led 50 or 60. I mean, those two just dominated. And with all the late race restarts, you had to think something's going to go wrong for him at some point, but nope. Reddick got up into second for a bit, but then he kind of messed up. Harvick challenged for second for a bit, but Byron was able to get past him. Keselowski challenged for second, but Byron was able to get past him. So it ended up being a Larson-Byron 1-2. Hendrick Motorsports has struggled at Texas in the past. Their last points win was in 2017 with Jimmy Johnson. But since then, they've really struggled there, have not led a ton of laps, have not really gotten a lot of top 5 finishes. It's been a struggle for Hendrick Motorsports as a whole. Then this summer, they dominated the All-Star race. Larson won it, Elliott won a segment, Byron won a segment, Bowman won a segment. They all led laps and won segments. And then today, Larson just obliterated the field. They tried to bunch him up a bunch, get a bunch of stupid wrecks, but Larson was able to nail every restart, and he locks himself into the championship for the first time in his career. Larson, when he was at Chip Ganassi Racing, was only able to get to the round of 8 once, actually, in 2019. Other than that, never made the championship 4. His best season was 2017, had 4 wins, was 3rd on the playoff grid, and was shockingly eliminated in the round of 12. That would have been his best shot to make the championship 4. But this year, he has done it. He has made the championship 4. The guy who has dominated this season, his 8th win of the year, gets it done at Texas to lock himself into the championship 4. He does not have to worry about Kansas or Martinsville. He is in, and he does not have to worry about a late season collapse like we saw last year with Kevin Harvick. So Larson is into the championship 4. No one saw that coming, right? Right? Yeah, exactly. Not shocking at all that Larson made the championship 4. If he didn't, once again, the format would have gotten exposed just like last year when Harvick missed the Final 4. I mean, that's a whole different rant, but congratulations to the 5 team. Kyle Larson, they've just been on it all year long. Everywhere they've gone, obviously they swept Texas. They won the Texas All-Star race, and today in the 500-mile race, they swept Charlotte with the Roval and the Oval and the 600. They've won at Las Vegas. They've won at Sonoma, Watkins Glen, and a lot of other places. They've won a lot this year, but it's been fun to watch him and Denny Hamlin go back and forth for a bit, but with Hamlin's struggles, Larson was able to, he really just dominated today. I don't think Hamlin could have really done anything about it, but Larson dominates. Let's get to the results of this race. Kyle Larson wins. As I said, his 8th win of the year. Locks himself into the championship 4. He doesn't have to worry about Kansas or Martinsville. Also, could that potentially be an advantage for Hendrick Motorsports now that they only have one car that is not advanced to the championship 4 or eliminated, Chase Elliott? Could they potentially focus on him more as an organization? I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But Larson gets his 8th win of the year. He is in the championship 4, as we expected. Second place, William Byron, a really good run for him. Ran really good in the All-Star race back in June. Once again, showed speed here today. He has shown speed at many tracks this year. If he would have won that race at the Roval last week, he would have been in the round of 8, but of course he didn't. But really good run today. Led a good chunk of laps. Finishes 2nd. Good day for him. 3rd place, Christopher Bell, another guy who was eliminated last week at the Charlotte Roval. He's had a good career at Texas. I think he's got an Xfinity win there. He finished 2nd or 3rd in this race last year, I want to say, with Levine Family Racing. So a good run for him. Ends up 3rd place. Best Joe Gibbs driver today, which is a shock considering how good Joe Gibbs Racing has been on the 1.5-mile tracks this year, especially recently. I mean, Las Vegas, they really dominated that, had multiple cars in the top 5. I think all of them finished in the top 8. Hamlin, of course, won that back at Las Vegas. Obviously, Vegas and Texas, different tracks, but Gibbs have been stepping up on the 1.5-mile, the intermediate tracks, and everyone thought coming into this race, could they dominate again? Well, they had some struggles today. They were involved in some late race crashes, and Bell ends up being, I think, only one of 2 drivers in the top 10. 4th place, Brad Keselowski. He has not won at Texas in his career. Finished 2nd in the All-Star race back in June. He ends up with the top 5 today, which was much needed. We'll look at the points grid here in a minute, but Keselowski, he's had his struggles at Texas, but he's also had his moments at Texas where he's led a lot of laps. He's been up front, but has never been able to get it done, and he did what he needed to do today. Got some stage points, finishes 4th. Good day for him. 5th place, Kevin Harvick. Texas has been great to him ever since the repave. He has 3 wins at Texas since the repave. And he's had a lot of top 5 runs, leading laps, all that stuff. But a really good run for him today. He ran in the top 5 most of the day. Was competing for this lead at some points of the day. Really good run for him. He was also eliminated last week. So 3 of the top 5 were guys who got eliminated last week. 6th place, Ryan Blaney. Texas is a really good track for him. Coming into this round, I said that Texas was going to be his best chance at a win, but he looks really good right now, or he looked really good today, I should say. Finished 6th, got some stage points, but the points battle is very tight. 7th place, Chase Elliott, an up and down day for him. He was up in the top 5 at times of the day. He was 13th to 15th at times of the day. Had a tire issue early in the day. Finishes 7th. I think he's below the cut line. 8th place, Kyle Busch, a solid run for him. When that big crash happened early in the day, he had just gotten a speeding penalty, so he was starting at the back. He got hit in the back of his car, actually had to go back in, repair damage. They topped it off with fuel, and because of that, so being involved in that wreck just a bit, ended up getting them a little bit more fuel, and that's how they were able to save fuel and get 10 whole points by winning stage 1 in this one. So early in the race, bad luck ended up being good luck. So he got some points there. I think he's the last one above the cut line. 9th place, Tyler Reddick was a top 3 or 4 car all day long. He was up front competing for the lead with Kyle Larson, William Byron at times. Late in this one, though, he tried to make an aggressive move for second place on William Byron, second straight week that him and Byron have made contact. Hit Byron in the left rear, slid up the track, didn't spin, didn't wreck, was able to save it, but he slid back and finished 9th. Had a top 5 car all day, as I said, ends up finishing 9th. 10th place, Daniel Suarez. A really good day for Daniel Suarez today. He was up there near the top 10 most of the day. So, a really strong run for Trackhouse Racing and that team. Just a really good day for them. They had that incident with Truex, which I blame more Truex on that one than Suarez. But Suarez with the top 10, really good run. Denny Hamlin somehow finishes 11th in this one. There's only about 16, 17 cars on the lead lap most of the day. In fact, only 15 finished on the lead lap today. So Hamlin kind of got lucky with that. When he spun, they were able to fix the damage, keep him on the lead lap. And then obviously with that late race crash that he was in again, able to somehow keep it on the lead lap, and he finishes 11th. So that could have been a disastrous day for Denny Hamlin, but they somehow get an 11th place finish out of it. So considering everything that happened, an 11th place finish is really good for that team. 12th, Eric Jones. He's been really good at Texas. Good day for him. 13th, Matt DiBenedetto. 14th, Austin Dillon. 15th, Chase Briscoe. He was involved in a few incidents today, but ends up 15th. 16th, Kurt Busch. 17th, Michael McDowell. 18th, Eric Almirola. 19th, Cole Custer. 20th, Corey LaJoie. 21st, Chris Buescher had an amazing save at one point today. Before it triggered that Alfredo crash, he ended up being in a bad crash late in the race. 22nd, BJ McLeod. 23rd, David Starr. 24th, Garrett Smithley. 25th, Martin Truex Jr. I think he's in a points deficit. As I said, was involved in a wreck after contact with Daniel Suarez, a hard wreck. Hopefully he's okay after that one, but he's just had bad luck at Texas in his career. I don't know what it is, but he just can't find luck there. 26th, Josh Bilicki. 27th, Timmy Hill. Attaboy, Timmy. 28th, Ross Chastain. 29th, Anthony Alfredo. 30th, Joey Logano had an engine expire late in this race. That's going to put him in a points deficit too. Once again, we will look at the points here in a minute. 31st, Quinn Houff, and then I think he was involved in the big one. And then here's where all the guys in the big one start. Bubba Wallace, 32nd. 33rd, Alex Bowman. 34th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 35th, Ryan Newman. 36th, Ryan Preece. 37th, Justin Haley. 38th, Cody Ware. And 39th, Joey Gase. But, yes, that is the results of the... It used to be the AAA Texas 500, which was so easy to say and so easy to remember. But now it's like the Auto Echo... I think it's like on my shirt. Echo Park Automotive... not the Texas Grand Prix, but the 500. Sub out Texas Grand Prix for 500 for whatever this says. Sponsorship, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I mean, stage 1 was genuinely fun. It was genuinely, at times, had good racing, good moments, exciting moments. Stage 2 through before the chaos, you just had to get through that. And then the last 50 laps were chaos. The racing was still meh, but it was chaos. There were wrecks. So I really don't know how to rate this race, if I'm being honest with you, because stage 1 was genuinely good. Like, not just Texas good, like good. Stage 2 through the most of stage 3 was bad. And then the end of the race, it was fun and stuff, but I hate seeing like a crash fest like that and just the stupidness of it. I mean, but I was entertained. So on an entertainment basis, I'd say it was like a 7.5. As a NASCAR race fan, I'd say it's like a 6.5. Maybe a 6. I don't know. But that was the race. It was really weird. It got really weird there at the end. I thought that was going to be a fight. Like, Blaney and Hamlin hit each other. Briscoe and Hamlin hit each other, and Hamlin was on the radio mad. But there wasn't a fight. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Kansas next week. Woo NASCAR.